And I call him the best print guy on radio. It's James Mennie, reporter, columnist, editor at the Montreal Gazette. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Trudy, how are you?
I am very happy to be filling in for Aaron because it means I get to sleep in a bit. So,
isn't that great?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that just marvelous having being in the land of the living? Because it's like it really is quite something. Because folks, when Trudy's on the morning show, it's like I think you actually have to wake up the day before and then get into work. And then by the time you leave, it's already the next day. So
it feels like that. It does feel like that
sometimes. Time loop. It's like it's the same day over and over.
Jim, usually at this time of year, we're in the summer news doldrums, but maybe not so much this year. What's going on with the tariffs and all that?
True. You and I have ridden a lot of dusty trails together, and I'll tell you straight up. I've made this observation to Aaron. Those days are gone. News, the doldrums. Let's talk about the dog that people think can talk, or the apparent image of Jesus on that waffle. Those days are gone. Every day is a news day. Exhibit A, Quebec manufacturers screaming like banshees because, as I always say, Trudy, it's all fun and games until someone takes away your temporary foreign workers. So Ottawa has basically said, no. Part of our crackdown, part of our revision of our immigration policy, he said, making air quotes, is that we're going to be cutting back on the number of temporary foreign workers you can have, and the rest are going to have to go. And employers are saying, listen, can we just grandfather in the people that we have here? Because quite frankly, if you take these temporary foreign workers away from us, quite apart from the jack we had, we invested in training them and so on and so forth, we're going to go out of business. Because guess what? Nobody else wants to do these jobs. And if they did do them, they wouldn't do it at the price we're paying, and it's going to kill us. And it's not just a couple of greedy guts manufacturers. Like the whole manufacturing sector in Quebec is really up in arms about this. And what I really love in this entire policy, I don't know if you saw that little throwaway line in the initial report on this. According to the federal government's calculation and based on the median wage in Canada, if you're making $34.62 an hour, you're low paid. That's despite the fact that in Quebec, $16.10 is the minimum wage, and federally it's like 17 and change. But this is it. They just decided if you're getting paid less than that, you're a low wage earner, and if you're a temporary foreign worker, you have to go back. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. There is, we went from the doors open, come on in under Justin Trudeau. Now we've got, I'll bet you folding money, Trudy, by the end of the summer, maybe even by the end of this month, you're going to see Ottawa revise its stance simply because they're realizing that with all the other problems that manufacturers are facing between tariffs and Trump's daily, psychotic fits, it's going to be difficult, and we'll be kneecapping our own economy. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But my God, I love it. And to be fair to Quebec employers, Trudy, they have been as vociferous about this as they have when that nice François Legault turned around and said, we can't be awash in immigrants. It's going to be cultural suicide. The fact is, immigrants, whether François Legault and his ilk like it or not, are an essential part of Quebec's economy, and we're going to have to learn to live with them.
Aside from that whole aspect of the underpinning for a lot of industries in Quebec being the reliance on temporary foreign workers, the Legault government has made great hay out of saying, well, this is all related to the housing crisis. And if we're going to point fingers at the housing crisis, we're not going to point fingers at ourselves for not encouraging construction of affordable housing. No. We're going to point a finger at companies for bringing in too many people who take up too many apartments. So where is this?
Pay taxes. Yeah.
Where is this going to leave? Where is this going to leave the housing crisis?
Into another brick wall, which is where any of the tax policies and sort of overviews lead. Because let's face it, everyone knows, francophones, anglophones, you name it, in the regions, in Montreal, the CAQ has been making it up as it's been going along. Its policies are written on the back of cocktail napkins. They do not stand up in court. They don't have a clue what they're doing. Their immigration policies are an even bigger shambles than that of Ottawa, and that, given who was in charge of immigration for the past 10 years, is saying something. But the fact is, that little core constituency out in the sticks, that core support for the CAQ, thinks we're going to be awash in immigrants and will be taken over by immigrants, even though immigrants are pretty much doing the jobs that they refuse to do and the jobs that they need to have done. And the fact is, some turn around and say, back to cheap labor. So guess what? I got a newsflash for y'all. Cheap labor is what made this country great. The fact is, a lot of places will be able to function on a certain payroll. And, you're always free not to take it. But when you have people coming from parts of the world where, $34 an hour, God help us, or even less, let's just say $20 an hour is considered fat city, that you're not exploiting anyone. Maybe from the point of view here, from some separatist pinhead who thinks that, we should all just, money in an independent Quebec, money will just grow out of the ground. But the fact is, over and over again, and the good news about this treaty is it's happening in the regions as well, over and over again. Quebec business people are learning that whether it's the feds or whether it's the province, their elected officials are completely out to lunch on what makes business go in this country. And quite frankly, we can only hope that the Trump effect, which has already made itself felt with God knows how many other elements of our basic, economic lives, will make itself felt here, because this is it. If anyone's going to save us from Donald Trump, it's somebody we've never heard of who came over here to work on a temporary basis from Tunisia.
Oh, that's thought-provoking. Okay. Oil, gas, weapons. You want to weigh in on François Legault?
Do you remember and this is going back a while, do you remember when there was a big debate at Montreal City Hall and they declared themselves a nuclear-free zone?
Oh.
And there was a controversy apparently over some company in the West Island that was allegedly making guidance systems for helicopters for the U.S. military. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember when the city of Montreal created a floral display in front of City Hall that had the slogan for no nukes, whatever the slogan back in the day was. Yeah.
I always had a vision of the news finally making itself to Red Banner Missile Command in Moscow, and they suddenly retargeting the missiles away from Montreal because of that city council, motion. But all that said, things have changed. Now, the Premier of Quebec, a former PayKiss cabinet minister, François Legault, you know him as your everybody's favorite premier, is basically, in the finest traditions of Quebec premiers everywhere, trying to, looking at the Federation saying, I want my cut of the military spending. I want my cut of, because this is the thing. Prime Minister Carney turns around and says, we're going to increase defense spending. And, we really want these industries to thrive, and we want to meet our NATO commitments. So there's bucks out there to be made in the arms, the military industry. And listen, Quebec has been doing this for years, but now you can actually say it out loud, Trudy. You can say, I want to be a part of the AI or aeronautical or whatever, the hardware of warfare, because you know what? It's good business. And the fact is, you'll recall as well, I think, under the golden, very enlightened days of Justin Trudeau, how they said they couldn't break that deal with the Saudis to send them tanks to shoot dissidents. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And oh no, we can't do it. We'd be paying a penalty. So this is it. I mean, Canada has always sort of talked out of both sides of its mouth when it came to that issue, but we do have a very good reputation as weapon mongers. So why not take advantage of it, especially, as I say, in these uncertain Trump-riddled days. So it's just funny to see François, and he's also changed his tune, of course, about using dirty Western energy, dirty Western oil. Maybe, if it's socially acceptable, Trudy, he'll be able to do it. Oh, and I've always loved that. I've always loved that getaway phrase, social acceptability.
Yeah. For the P word. He might allow the P word through.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Careful.
My mouth getting fresh here.
I know, you're on
pipelines.
The dayside radio now. Everyone's awake. Be careful.
James Mennie, always a delight.
As a man.
All righty. James Mennie of the Montreal Gazette. I remember that expression when they put that floral display in front of the City Hall. It was the initial ZLAN. It was Zone Libre d'Armes Nucléaires. And they, one of those beautiful, with the plants spelling out the letters. Yeah, I remember that. Why do I remember that? I don't know. It's like from 35 years ago in my reporting career. Just one of those things that your brain throws up every now and then for no good reason.